Welcome to the Harley J Way, the Harley J Way. I'm your host, Harley J. Let's jump right in. Hey, welcome back to the Harley J Way podcast. I'm not as full of energy today, and I mean, earlier in the day I was, but once I sat down to record this episode, I really wasn't, because today I'm telling a story. I'm telling a story that is hard for me to tell because it's such a recent story and it's so sad. And just thinking about how I'm going to tell the story has made me kind of boost my energy. And well, honestly, the reason why I'm telling the story is because I feel like it's important to talk about these types of things. But as you can probably see from the title, one of my closest friends died in a plane crash a couple weeks ago, and it really hurt me. I was going to make this episode last week, but I already had an episode scheduled and about to be uploaded. And it was already uploaded on the server and already scheduled to go live, so I was like, I'll wait one more week, so I'm also calling about it. And I didn't really know how to handle it 100%. But yeah, one of my closest friends, Medita, died in a plane crash alongside her father and her sister. And wow, it really hurt. And I think the first thing that happened was I told myself, I didn't really tell myself anything, but I felt just confused and like I just didn't understand what happened. It didn't make any sense to me, and it just didn't feel real. It felt like I was being told a false lie that I knew wasn't true, even though I also knew it was true, and it was just so confusing. But then, and that was day one, and then day two was me just feeling so sad, and I couldn't really think or eat or sleep. I mean, I could barely sleep. I could barely do anything other than just think. And it was so sad and it hurt me so badly and it was painful. And then the day after that, it was kind of accepting that she's gone and I have to find ways to honor her. It's just sad. I mean, I couldn't really think of anything else to talk about. I mean, because this is the biggest thing in my life right now. And there really wasn't anything else I could use to, like, there was no other way for me to handle it, really, than make this podcast. I mean, I knew I had to make the podcast because but I didn't know. No, let me start over. I have to record a podcast. I mean, this is one of my resolutions for this year was to release an episode of this podcast every Friday for the entire year. So what is that, 52 episodes? And I want to stick to that. And while this has made it harder, I realized, I think at the current moment, this is the only thing I can make a podcast about. I mean, I have some cool interviews set up that I can easily go into. They're not today; they're for future episodes. And I knew that this episode today would be just me talking to y'all like the old days. Not the old days. We've had. I mean, there's been a lot of days like this where it's just been me talking to y'all. But a lot of my episodes recently have been short and sweet, just me talking for like few minutes, and that's on. And first few words were just because I was on winter break and I was just trying to relax, but I still needed to pump out those videos, because it's fun for me and it makes me happy, and it's my goals, one of my goals. But this happened, and I think for me, just the easiest way to cope with it is just to breathe. I've just been breathing and just meditating, and it's a little hard to say and a little ironic because I have horrible asthma, and it's been really hard to breathe it sometimes because of this and because of other things, mainly because of other things, just by asthma. But just I find, if you're going through a loss somewhat like this, I say just breathe. Just breathe, and just breathe it out. In the end, everything will be fine. I think, at least. It's been hard. It's been taking up a lot of my life, and I don't know. It's just been hard. But I think the main reason I'm making this episode is to honor her and to not respect her, but of course respect her, but just to honor her and remember her. And I want to say that a big reason I'm doing this episode is because even the GoFundMe has already, I think, gone close to double their donation amount, their goal. There is a GoFundMe to support Jessica, who is the mother, and the mother of my friend, and the wife of my friend's father, and the mother of my friend's sister. And this is a GoFundMe to support her and to pay for all the costs of the funeral. And well, like I said, they've gotten much past their expected donations. Anything can help at the moment. It's just hard right now. At the current moment in time, it's just hard. And if you, do me a favor, do your favorite podcaster a favor, or hopefully favorite podcaster, but still, just do me a favor and donate even a single penny to the cause. I'll put the link in the description if you're on YouTube, with the show notes, podcast notes, whatever, just whatever. I think every platform has a description area or show notes area. I'll put a link there to the GoFundMe, to the GoFundMe. But the last thing I want to say before shutting this camera off and making sure that all the audio is perfect, and not perfect, but nice and crispy, and then uploading this to the server, is rest in peace.